Well, thank you, Dr. Eben, for that kind introduction, and I'm pleased to bring greetings on behalf of the Agriculture and Irrigation Minister R.J. Sigurdsson, who's very sorry that he could not be here today, and that's why you are stuck with me. So thank you for inviting me to this showcase on all the research that's been taking place. And a warm welcome to the ARDAR board, the new board of directors members. So congratulations. And I saw many familiar faces in the room so far today, and I look forward to connecting with all of you and meeting some new individuals as we continue this discussion. So in 2020, Alberta's government began a 10-year funding agreement with ARDAR. Farmer-led agricultural research in Alberta leads to tangible benefits for farmers and Albertans alike, like higher profits for our farmers and a sustainable food supply and at an affordable cost for our consumers. From 2023-24, we increased funding to ARDAR to nearly $27 million, targeting the research priorities of Alberta producers and supporting regional and provincial opportunities and challenges. This increased funding has contributed to building research capacity in rural Alberta to advance innovations at the farm and field level. It also aims to support applied research associations with increased funding that helps them do more business planning, which will help them compete for other funding more successfully and increase the impact of their provincial dollars they receive. From April 2021 to March 2024, ARDAR invested in 377 projects. Investment in high-impact research has supported jobs and encouraged adoption of beneficial management practices on more than 1 million of Alberta farmed acres. Agricultural research plays a crucial role in food security and agricultural development by increasing production to meet the food needs of a growing population. And ARDAR is driving the growth of Alberta's agricultural economy, advancing investment outcomes by delivering research down the final mile into hands of producers and partners across the food value chain. Agriculture is one of Alberta's oldest and continues to be one of the strongest contributors to our economy, growth, and diversification. 2025 is already off to a busy start. During the first week of January, I attended the State Agricultural and Rural Leaders Summit in Des Moines, Iowa, where I participated in a panel discussion with colleagues from Canada and the United States. At the summit, we focused on how our countries can best work together to continue to advance trade, our integrated supply chains, economies, and how to advance dialogue on bilateral challenges, emphasizing the importance of the Canadian-United States-Mexico Agreement, also known as CUSMA. On behalf of our province, I was very grateful to have the opportunity to reinforce our long-standing trade relationship with the U.S. and to reiterate just how important CUSMA is as a foundational piece for unprecedented duty-free access for agriculture and agri-food products across North America. It continues to safeguard and preserve Canada's preferential agricultural access to U.S. and Mexico, and to drive integration of a North American market, benefiting North American economies significantly. Our government takes comments made by President-elect Trump about imposing a 25% tariff on all Canadian exports to the U.S. very seriously, as they could result in retaliatory tariffs, higher food prices, disrupted supply chains, and a shrinking production and employment across the continent. We support the federal government working to understand the concerns shared by President-elect Trump around the border and drug trade and addressing them in a manner that benefits both sides. Currently, most agricultural goods traded between Mexico and the United States are duty-free, and Canada is the top export market for more than 36 U.S. states. So a trade disruption would hurt both countries considerably. Dialogue with the incoming administration will be crucial to avoiding the harmful impacts of unjustified tariffs. We know that without farmers and agri-food producers, we wouldn't have food for Albertans, Canadians, and those around the world. We owe our reputation for top quality agricultural and food products to the hard work and dedication of our farmers, ranchers, and food processors. We know our producers have faced many challenges over the past few years, and despite this, our agricultural sector continues to grow, and the world continues to look at our province as a leader in food production, a solution to global food shortages, and this is something we can all take tremendous pride in. As a province, we are focused on mitigating risks to the agricultural industry through emergency preparedness, regulatory assurance, and supporting resilience in industry with research that helps strengthen this resiliency. ARDAR is the largest producer-guided funder of agricultural research, with 295 active projects across many sectors. This is an impressive achievement. Your work to guide research priorities and promote farmer and rancher participation in research has been outstanding. The agriculture industry is getting the most for its investments, and Albertans are getting the most for their dollars. I look forward to hearing about more successes in the future and continuing to work and collaborate with your organization and members. So thank you again to Dr. Chalik, Dr. Redmond, and the whole board for the opportunity to be here today. I truly enjoyed the tour of the showcase, and I look forward to learning more about leading research from our presenters later today. Thank you.
So thank you for those kind words of welcome, but also the inspirational message for the upcoming week. I think we're all holding our breaths for that. The deputy has very kindly said he is open to taking a couple of questions from the audience.
Easy questions from the audience.
I can't screen them. But no, he's happy to take a couple of questions, which is actually a special opportunity for everybody attending the meeting. So if you have a question, if you could raise your hand, we have Lydia to run a mic to you. I will add that we are webcasting this part of the afternoon, and so people are listening. So who has a question they'd like to ask the minister, deputy minister?
Of course, you have to be across the entire.
Well, thank you, Deputy Minister Hale. I think we're almost, most of us at least, are very interested in the weather. And what about the department and the predictions for drought mitigation, and what does the coming spring, summer, and fall? I know you can't predict, but what's the state of the union?
Well, yeah, that's a very, very timely conversation. Actually, I just went yesterday morning. We get a report on snowpack, reservoir levels, river flows from Alberta Environment. And our snowpack does not look good right now. We are below normal, but we know from last year after the significant drought, we did a lot of planning. We did a lot of drought planning, a lot of preparedness and what we could do. We were very, daily checking those snowpack levels, reservoir levels, the river flows. But we know, not to panic, prepare. We need to prepare. We're not going to panic. Our biggest snowfall comes in April, May, up in the mountains where we receive most of our runoff. But I will mention that, when in 2001 was a significant drought. That was the last significant drought that we've had, and at that time, everybody knew we need reservoirs. And we know that these significant reservoirs we're looking at building, are 20-year projects, 15 to 20-year projects. It just takes that long. The comment that many of us made after that drought, the last drought, was, we we can't forget about it. If it starts raining next year, if we get a lot of snow, we can't forget about it and just carry on. If they would have started building reservoirs in 2002 after that 01 drought, they would have been built by now. So we know we can't sit by and we can't just forget about it. We're going to carry on. Alberta Environment, after last year's budget, they have an RFP they sent out looking at reservoir storage projects. We in Agriculture and Irrigation, we were successful in the budget ask. We've started an RFP. We should be hearing back this spring on the Earmore Dam on the Bow River down by Brooks, a significant project. We are putting out some other feelers, RFPs on other storage projects within the province. So a lot of work is being done by the government on mitigating these drought aspects based on our river flows and rainfall flows. We know that we need to capture the water where we can, when we can. So that's a task that we're continuously working on.
My question was going to be about water.
Oh, it's hot? Okay.
I've answered it already, thank you.
In relation to marketing of chemicals, in your negotiations, did you ever have any feel that you were gonna have 25% tariffs in the morning when you get up? Or is there gonna be a negotiated integration on it? Because we're sitting on the record highs, and there's a profitability in cattle right now. And to regrow cattle, there has to be a profitability on it. And these droughts and different things that have been environmental, and then you have cow and whatnot, it's really hard to gain confidence in that sector to have younger people come forward and what have you. So this one would be a big hit if we don't have any ability to make marketing choices because of the integration there is between the livestock movement between Alberta and northern U.S.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, great point. As Dr. Edmond mentioned, I am a producer. I'm a fourth generation producer in southern Alberta, so I get it. As I mentioned, I was down in Iowa speaking. We talked a lot about the tariffs. There was other Canadian groups down there too, pork, canola, cattle, and some other representatives from other provinces. We continuously spoke about the tariffs, and I had the opportunity to give a talk, like a 15-minute presentation. I talked a lot about the integration of our chains, our supply chains. How, specifically with cattle, those cattle can move back and forth across the border 2, 3, 4 times. From where they're born to where they're processed, where they're slaughtered. Even as beef, they can go back and forth. Our hogs, our grains. There is a need. We know that in the cattle business, we supply a lot of their packers in the Midwest with our cattle. They supply a lot of cattle to our packers. A lot of it depends on weather, on droughts, the feed. Sometimes it's easier to haul the cattle to the feed than the feed to the cattle. So there is that integration. When it's dry, we're bringing up corn, train loads of corn to our feeding sector. When we had the drought in 2021, a lot of our hay and feed, green feed and hay, went down into Montana, North Dakota, those states down there. So it is integrated. They get it. Those northern states get it. They understand that need, but it's the guys making the decision, the politicians making the decisions that need to know. That's why we're taking every opportunity we can to communicate that integrated supply chain with our partners in the U.S. The Premier, she's going to be down at the inauguration. She was just down in Florida. She's been meeting with governors and senators, congressmen, getting that message across that we are a great trading partner where we both need each other. We can't survive on our own. So there is a lot of work being done. I'm a betting man, and I would not place any money on Monday what's going to happen.